Hey guys, coming at you live from my kitchen since I'm having some technical difficulties with my computer. So it's going to be a little bit of a modified workout, but that's good because that means that you can do it in your kitchen as well. Okay, so we got a lot of fun planned for today. For those of us who maybe did Murph this weekend, you might still be feeling a little bit sore, or you might be like me, you're really sunburned. So just take yourself, see how you're feeling today. Take it a little bit easy if you need to, or today could be a good opportunity to really challenge yourself, especially with the squats, but squats and deadlifts. So it's a really, really nice couplet that shouldn't take you more than 11 minutes. So it should be a nice workout to get back into the groove of things. All right, so for the first part, we have every 90 seconds for 6 rounds. You're gonna do 3 front squats, and those are gonna be from the ground. So you want to pick a weight that's challenging, but that you can definitely get through the 3 without having to drop it, as well as you're able to do that for 6 rounds. So pretty good, straightforward work right there with the front squats. Then we'll get into the MetCon, which is going to be 21, 15, 9 deadlifts and front squats. So for the deadlifts, it might feel a little bit lighter on the weight because you're going to want to use the same weight for both. And then on the front squats, it's going to be pretty challenging considering your legs are pretty toasty from the deadlifts and the front squats from the strength work. So fast on the deadlifts, pretty conscious on the front squats. Some techniques that we could have that go along with this, could break it up into sets. You probably don't want the sets to be too many sets, like maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5 sets for the 21. But if you're breaking it up more than that, it's probably a little bit on the heavy side. So definitely choose a weight that's going to be challenging for you, and then you're able to get it done under 11 minutes. So you want these to be pretty fast rounds. All right, pretty straightforward couplet there for the work. Let's get warmed up. All right. So wherever you're at, I highly recommend that you have a slippery floor and socks so that we can do some of the movements that I did the last time that I was coaching. If you guys watched that video, a lot of the work is core centric. So for the first thing to start out with, if you haven't already gotten your heart rate up a little bit, go ahead and pause the video, take a 200-meter jog, or jump rope for 2 minutes. Do something to get your heart rate up a little bit for 2 minutes. Once you're ready and you're back, let's go ahead and kick it off with 5 burpees. All right, so heart rate should be coming up a little bit there, should feel pretty good. I want you to make your way over to something that's about knee, maybe a little bit higher, somewhere between mid-shin and just above your knee height. You're gonna put your left foot on top. We're gonna be doing Bulgarian split squats. So one foot comes out straight in front of you. Make sure you give yourself enough room so that when you are coming down, that your knee isn't coming too far forward. So you can see right here, this is actually perfect for me because I can hold on to it a little bit, but I'm coming down and right back up. And you can see I'm staying in line. I'm not hinging forward or leaning back too much. All right, so keep that chest nice and upright, and you want to keep the line of the shoulders going straight down and straight back up. Go down, and you're driving through that front heel to stand back up. Give me 5 more. Whoops. 1, 5, and then we'll switch. So we'll bring our left leg in front, our right leg goes back. We're reaching so the top of our foot is against that bench or whatever you're leaning on. Same thing. You want to bring your body straight down and straight back up for 10. 9, this one, 10. So even though that is a little bit of a leg workout, it's also really good for stability for your core. And as we get closer to these hotter months, everybody wants to work on their core just a little bit. So any opportunity that we have, let's take it, right? Okay, next thing we're gonna be doing leg swings and a kick, touching your toes. Give me 10 on each side. All right, we'll do a few good mornings as well. This is really good for us to practice our form for the deadlift. So even if you don't have something in your hand, if you want to use anything, something as some sort of counterweight, counterbalance, that would help. Otherwise, you don't need to use anything. But if I'm standing side from you right here, you can see that I'm keeping my knees pretty straight at this point in time, and I'm feeling my hamstrings, a nice pull, not a painful pull, but activation of my hamstrings. And then I'm standing back up, squeezing my glutes up top. So I want you to do the same thing, nice and smooth and slow. And then squeeze the glutes to contract at the top. Give me 10. So you want to go only as far down as you can before you start to round your back. So some of us might only go to here before we really feel it. Some of us might be able to go a little further, but I definitely don't want this, right? I don't know how many we've done, but hopefully that's about 10 of them. Right, and let's go ahead and do some lunges. So lunging forward and then stepping back. When you are, if you want to kick it up a notch and you're using your socks, like I had mentioned earlier, you can actually slide your foot back, and that's really going to help activate the other leg as well. I felt it a little bit in the glute of my back leg. So you're going to lunge forward, stepping down and sliding the other foot back. All right. So you can do 10 of those. Otherwise, do 20 regular lunges. All right, the next part that we're gonna do, shake those legs out just a little bit. Next part we're gonna do is some of those pikes. So coming from a plank position, trying to make sure you can see me on the camera here. From a plank position, you're gonna slide those feet up as close to your hands as you can get and slide them back down. If you're not wearing socks or you're outside, maybe this isn't as conducive for you, you can just hop and try to land in that pike position. All right, either way, give me 10. All right, and then let's meet in the bottom of the squat. Catch your breath a little bit. Take that left hand to the right foot, reach that right arm up to the sky. And we'll switch, take the right hand to the left foot, reaching the left arm up to the sky. One more time on each side. And we'll come just to the bottom of the squat position, pushing those knees out as much as possible. So I want you to Squeeze your knees in and press your elbows into your knees at the same time. Helping set the hips into the really ideal position. And slowly stand back up. All right, so we're gonna do some 1 1/4 squats. And what those are gonna look like is you can keep your hands in front if you want to come to that front rack position just to practice a little bit, getting those elbows up. Or we're gonna come all the way down to a full squat. I'm gonna have you stand up just a little bit, like 1/4 of a squat. You're gonna go back down and then back up. What I want to, I'm gonna go down just a little bit here. What I want to avoid is the bouncy. All right, so I really want you to concentrate on going all the way down to the bottom, holding it, standing up just a little bit, going back down again, and then driving through those heels, standing all the way up. Give me 10. And try to get those elbows up at the same time. All right, and then the last little piece here that's really gonna help us with front squats is gonna be getting the elbows up as high as we can. So a lot of times, if we don't have, we talk about mobility, and a lot of people think, oh, I can't hold it here because I have poor wrist mobility. But sometimes it's also your lat and your back mobility, because all those muscles are also gonna help you be able to hold everything nice and tight. My lats are super activated here, which also means my back is super activated in order to get my elbows up as high as I can. So sometimes we just need to work a little bit on that lat mobility as well. So starting out, basically, we can just come to a child's pose. That's gonna help us stretch our lats. But if that feels really good, you can come up so your hands are up on top of something elevated, and reach your head through, stretching out the bottom part of your shoulders and through your lats. Take nice deep breaths. We'll hold this. And then I want you to take that right palm and flip it up. Come back to that, pressing that left shoulder down. Switch so that left palm is facing up. Work on pressing that right shoulder down. And then we'll come to our elbows. You can also do this on the ground. Come to our elbows. Bring our hands together right behind our neck. A little bit more of a stretch in our lats here. All right, and relax. Okay. All right, so hopefully your body's feeling nice and warm. Just going over those movements again. It's going to be every 90 seconds for a total of 6 rounds. You're gonna do 3 front squats. Weight's gonna come up off the ground for those. If you wanna use dumbbells, that's what I'm gonna be using as well. That's great. Focus on form, those hips going back first, and try and keep those elbows up as high as you can. Standing all the way back up, all right? Sure, squats are a leg workout, but really it's everything. Your core is nice and tight, your back is nice and tight and engaged. Your elbows are coming up and forward, your chest is upright, that's activating your back. You're keeping your core tight, that's activating your core. Breathe, nice deep breath in. Squat, stand back up. Breathe out as you stand up, all right? I know some of us like to wear belts. just depending upon the situation, I might recommend it, might not recommend it. But in this case, pretend that you're wearing a belt and you're pressing your belly. So don't stick your belly out, but you're actually holding your core in like you're wearing a belt, and you're pressing your diaphragm against the belt. That's going to keep your core nice and tight and locked in. All right. And work on getting those elbows up. Once you transition over to the MetCon, it's going to be feeling really good. All right. It should feel pretty light, and you should be able to cruise through that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started with the MetCon. You can pause the video and then come on back when you're ready. All right. It's time to start the workout. So we have 21, 15, 9 is the rep scheme. So 21 deadlifts, 21 front squats. You're going to use the same weight for both movements. Deadlifts should feel pretty fast, but you want to focus on control. Don't let the bar get away from you, and keeping the bar nice and close to your body in really good form. So for the deadlifts, I want those hips to go back first, slight bend in the knees until you get to your knee, and then you can start tracing the knee forward. All right, and same with the front squat. For the front squat, butt goes back first. All right, that's a little bit exaggerated here, but butt goes back first. I'm trying to keep my chest up as much as I can, and then eventually I have to start dipping down in order to get that full range of motion. All right, 21, 15, 9. If you haven't got your equipment set up, pause the video and go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we'll get started. Here we go. 21, 15, 9. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh. I hope you guys had fun. That was a pretty spicy workout. Nice. A nice way to come back if you've been taking some time off after Murph, or you're just looking for something a little bit fun to do and just get your heart rate up a little bit, kind of break up the day. So hopefully no more than 11 minutes. That was a time cap, so better not taking more than that. So another good opportunity for you to kind of just throw something in there really quick. It's nice to have two simple movements like that. I mean, even you could do that same thing in a different way. You could do 21, 15, 9 of push-ups and air squats in the middle of the day when you're just feeling like, slow, dragging. You just need a little extra pick-me-up. Great, quick way to just bring up your heart rate a little bit. The ability that your body has to bring up your heart rate and bring it back down is a really good asset for you to have. Just like you would train your muscles, you can also train your lungs and your heart to kind of work at different capacities and challenge it. Constantly challenge it, push it to the limits, because it's a strong muscle just like any other part of your body. And challenging it is what's going to help you get to the next level. It's going to help you walk upstairs without feeling winded. It's going to help you, maybe be able to get under 10 minutes on your mile, if that's a goal, or under 20 minutes on your mile, if that's a goal. So yeah, definitely look for opportunities there to keep it super simple with the movement, super light on the volume, but jack up that heart rate. So it's always a fun time. Okay, so now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and start stretching out a little bit, especially if you guys have done Murph or let's just call it all of the programming that we've been doing for the last few weeks. You've probably been doing a lot of leg stuff, a lot of running. So make sure you're still continuing to stretch out your hamstrings and your quads. Is equally as important to ensure both of those muscle groups are stretched really well. So we're stretching our hamstrings. Let's start out with our legs slightly bent. And I want you to reach forward, hinging from your hips. So keeping your chest nice and upright, hinging forward at your hips. You might find, like me, that your belly is resting on your legs. That's fine. Reach and touch those toes. If you want to, you can kind of hook your fingers around your toes. And then from here, I want you to very carefully, don't strain yourself, don't give yourself a Charlie horse doing this. Straighten those legs as much as you can. All right? The only thing that you're moving here is your legs. Straighten those legs as much as you can. You might find, okay, this is good. I'm going to stop here. I want you to start breathing nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you can take it a little further, go for it. If not, just hold it, hold it, hold it. Just try to concentrate on breathing nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Still keeping that core nice and tight. Chest upright. Might be a slight round in your back, but you definitely don't want it to be super rounded. All right, and then let's go ahead and swing our legs around to kind of like, I don't know what this is called, but I always call it like a cheerleader position. So one, I have my right foot up near my right butt cheek, and then I have my left leg so that my shin is out parallel in front of me. So you might find in this position your hip, I have all this space from underneath my, underneath the floor up to my butt. So I want to try to close the gap a little bit by pressing my hips down toward the ground. And try to even out your hips. Try to even out those hips. And then let's start by leaning back. So we're going to lean back into this quad. Nice quad stretch on the right side. Same thing, nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Stretching is just like working out. You want to constantly challenge yourself, meet yourself at that next threshold that kind of scares you. Some people might have more of a challenge when it comes to stretching because the pain, I don't want to say pain, but the way that it feels, their body's not used to the way that it feels. You need to push yourself to the limit without hurting yourself. So very carefully pushing yourself to the limit. If you have a partner or friend, you can always use support systems and like physical support systems and blocks in your vicinity to be safe. And think about how you're going to get in and out of a stretch. If you're like, okay, you know what, I want to do the splits, I'm going to do the splits. You probably wouldn't just jump into the splits right away. You might find something to hold on to as you slowly bring yourself down into that position. So if you need to come out of that position very easily, you can. Or think about a way of how you're going to escape, right? When we put a squat, when we're about to do a squat, when we put a barbell on our back, one of the things that should go through your head is, if this weight is too heavy, what am I going to do with it? Do I have somebody that's going to help spot me, to help me stand up? Am I going to dump it? Are there things around me that are going to preclude me from having a safe exit if I need to take that? It's the same with stretching. All right, and then let's lean forward. So we're going to lean forward over that bent leg. Same with stretching. You really want to think about your exit plan. You want to come into it consciously and mindfully. And then just like working out, you want to be hydrated. You want to be warm. You want to be in a good place to do it. I wouldn't recommend waking up in the morning and saying, you know, today I'm going to do the splits. Maybe before you go to bed at night would be a good time to try to reach down and reach down as far as you can towards your toes to touch it. Maybe get yourself to that level of uncomfortableness for 3 seconds today. Tomorrow, maybe you try 5, give it a day off, and then come back and try 5 again. All right, and let's switch sides. So this time we'll bring our right shin to be parallel. Our left foot will come toward our butt. And then we're gonna try to, you can actually see in this image is really good where my right hip is really low and my left hip is really high up. You can just see based by my hand. So what I'm gonna try to do is rotate into that to try to really like sit my hip down as much as I can. And then as I start to lean back, I can kind of get back in that position and really work on sitting that right hip, that left hip down. I hope some of you guys have had the chance to enjoy some of the outdoor classes that we have going on. I know some of those might fill up and not work out for your time, but as we continue to, you know, not quite be able to be open yet, I hope that some of these Zoom classes work out for you, continue to work out for you, or the videos are really helping you. And hopefully soon enough, things will be back to the new normal. All right, and then we'll hinge forward. So hinging over that bent leg. Now let's roll over our knees, come to a down dog position. So really pressing into those hands, pressing away from the ground, rotating so your elbow pits are facing as far forward as you can. Slight bend in the elbows. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Then we'll walk those hands towards the feet as far as you can. Stand up. All right, great work, guys. Happy Wednesday, or whatever day it is when you're watching this video. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and hope to see you soon.